Hey everybody, welcome back to Rugby Wrap-Up. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for tuning into this week's Martial Law, the turning point in each Major League Rugby match with Colby Marshall, the Iona College Rugby legend. Colby, take it away.
Appreciate it. Let's get right into it.
Oh, that's a reversal of the skip the pleasantries by you. I like it. Go for it.
Right, Utah versus Austin. How about this 100-meter counterattack try by the Utah Warriors after Austin turned it over in their own territory? That try at that point in the game made the score 17-5 and was a huge momentum shift for the Warriors in their big win over the Gilgronis. The try itself was spearheaded by Minka Cruze, Mikey Te'au, who fed Michael Baska, who eventually found Jensen for the 7 points for the Warriors in that sequence.
Just look at the Utah Warriors in second place now, the Wild West out there. It's just like the East. You can't tell what's going on, Colby.
For sure. Both conferences are definitely up for grabs.
All right, what's the next one?
The next one is LA versus ATL. Now, Ryan Reese had a try for Rugby ATL to put them up 17-5 right before the half, and that was my turning point in the match. At that point in the game, the Guiltinis really don't want to give up any points as ATL has possession of the ball, but ATL was able to cash in on those timely points right before the break to go up 12 points, and that kind of spearheaded their victory that they had in that match.
And what a victory it was for Scott Lawrence and Rugby ATL. Just a fabulous win, a great win for the league in a lot of ways. And it just makes the East so much more intriguing going down the stretch.
Oh, for sure. You got Rugby ATL up there at the top of the standings. New York is up there. So, man, I can't wait until we get into these latter weeks of the season.
Yeah, and you're looking at NOLA hosting ATL this weekend. That's a key pivotal match in the East. Every match is basically key and pivotal at this point, specifically with some of the teams now sort of getting on a par with the Guiltinis, and the Guiltinis having to make some of these big road trips. Next one up.
Yeah, let's go to Houston versus San Diego. Trailing 6-3 early in the match, San Diego was definitely in need of a turning point type play. And that's exactly what they got from Tion Lutz when he blocked an exit kick attempt by Houston in their own half. He watched the ball bounce off the post, and then the ball landed in his lap for what was the first try of the game, scored by the San Diego Legion.
Talking about San Diego, I said to Zach Landing on this week's Zach Attack, the Big Play Breakdown, I think San Diego could win the West. Call me crazy. No, you're shaking your head no.
You're definitely crazy.
Okay, we'll see, tough guy. Next one.
Let's go to New York versus Old Glory. I think early on in this match, a little bit of ill discipline by Old Glory DC allowed New York to kind of get cooking with their bread and butter, Matt. Their driving maul, and Dylan Fawcett was able to score the first try of the game by way of a driving maul, and that kind of opened the floodgates a little bit for New York in that game as they went on to score 46 points.
Yeah, the butcher, Dylan Fawcett, was on fire in this game. But 1 through 23, all these guys were ready to play for New York. And I'm watching the warm-ups because I was there. Segra Field, fabulous. Hospitality from Chris Dunleavy and Paul Sheehy, part of the ownership group of DC. Couldn't have been better, nicer. John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE Hall of Famer. He came down. Just a great atmosphere, but I'm watching the warm-ups, and I'm thinking DC's going to come out smoking here, ready to rock and roll, and just the opposite happened. It's just crazy. You never know. You'd never know in this MLR, Colby.
Yeah, man, and I think I kind of heard that you got some VIP team bus access on the way to the game. You
know what, Colby? What goes on the bus stays on the bus, and that's a valuable lesson for everyone out there to learn. Next one.
Last game of the week, Toronto versus New England. In what was a very low-scoring affair, Toronto had a shot late in the game to take the lead, but was held up a few meters short of the goal line. And that was my turning point because that allowed New England to gain possession of the ball and essentially end the game from there.
And the fact that it was the last play of the game is just insane in that pivotal match.
Yeah, and I was kind of shocked that they didn't try to go for a kick. Taylor Adams, he's a specialist when it comes to, plays like that.
I kept saying to Steve Lewis, I was watching the game with him, I'm like, how about the drop goal? Where's the drop? There's a perfect opportunity for a drop goal, drop goal, drop goal. No attempt. They wanted to try, I guess, or maybe they didn't feel confident. We're not on the pitch. We don't know what the wind was like. It could have been whatever. But yeah, you're right. No attempt for the drop goal. But heartbreak for Toronto, and New England lives another day. That's watch that hand movement, Free Jacks. That's what you got to do. Final thoughts, Colby, before we let you go.
Yeah, just a little surprised that Toronto hasn't been able to bounce back. After starting out hot and then going on sort of a slump, but they still seem to be in it. LA as well. It's going to be interesting to see how those two teams finish the season after they've already built such high expectations for themselves.
You're being gracious in saying that LA has the same issues as Toronto. LA's fine. They're going to be fine, and they're going to be right in it. They're missing a couple of key components there. Their hooker is a big component. He's still not back, but that's a whole nother show. We are out of time, Colby, but thank you and thank everybody for tuning into this week's Martial Law, the turning point in each Major League Rugby match. And while you're waiting for next week's Martial Law, tune into our other segments, including our Major League Rugby show, our Global Rugby Recap, What Are the Odds?, our Major League Rugby Sports Bet show with the Philly Godfather, John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE legend, and Gifty Bailu, the Zack Attack. And please sign up for our American Red Cross Rugby Wrap-Up Blood Donor Team.